Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use SketchUp and Desktop Hero 3D to make what you create and put it on the website for your miniatures. So the point of this video and what I'm going to actually be doing in today's video is I'm going to be making token bases for Magic the Gathering. So when you make a creation on Desktop Hero 3D, it'll have the attack and toughness. So that way you can make your games a little bit more visual for commanders from the casual formats. But overall, it's just something a little bit different that we're going to be trying with the channel and showing you what you can actually do with some of these apps. So like I said, the app I'm going to be using is SketchUp, which is a web browser app. You don't have to download anything onto your computer. You sign up with an account and you just go from there. All right. So let's go ahead and begin with the base. So right now I made two squares with multiple corner squares for my dimensions. This outside square is at 34 millimeters by 34 millimeters to where we can get a 30 by 30 millimeter base at the very top. So when we scale upward, that's how it's going to be. So just like most D&D Pathfinder bases, those square bases where they have like some pretty good angles on the side. All right. So let's start with this drawing app right here, or the drawing tool, I should say. So the line app. So the first thing I want to do is go from corner to corner, because I want to start making my actual vertical corners. Playing with this app, there are a few problems that you run into sometimes. For instance, if you go over to an area and it's still purple, most likely the file or the thing you're going to print on with your 3D printers is not going to really recognize that as an actual thing, so it's actually not going to print it. All right, so all my corners are done. The next step I want to do is I actually want to make my towers, or I want to make my lines drawing upwards. So whenever you click, and you have to play around with this a little bit, but you want to draw around the blue line, and that is your z-axis, your height axis. All right, so I want my base to be about 3.5 millimeters. Go right there. All right, my next corner, I want to go up to 3.5 millimeters. And if you can see right here, by my pencil tool, by my line tool, is that there's another dotted line that goes across, and that's showing you that it's going to be in line with that particular pencil, that particular line that you just drew. Okay, so next over here, we'll draw another one about 3.5 millimeters, and you can see it's still in line. So click right there. Okay. And then for your last one, we'll just go right here, finish it off. All right, and we're good to go. The next thing I want to do to start making solid objects and not run into the purple problem nearly as much is I actually want to go from the top of this tower and start hitting these intersections right here. If you can see the white right there, that means that it's going to be printed as a solid object. Okay, so it looks like we're doing good so far with that. So let's finish off the corners first of these token bases for Magic. You could also use these bases for other games as well. I mean, it doesn't have to be strictly for Magic. You could use it for D&D or whatnot. But I'm just showing you the process to make your own stuff with basically free programs, free websites. Okay, so we'll go in right there. Now, as I finish the corners, some of the things you'll see right here is that along these inside of each right side of these triangular prisms is you'll see that purple again. And in most files, most file readers for 3D object, it's not going to read that. Okay, so that's kind of a problem right there. But to kind of solve that, what we're going to do is we're going to use this push pull app. Okay, and we're actually going to push pull from the white side. Okay, the actual solid base side. So then you know for sure it's going to be a solid object across the board. If I just actually pull this object up like this, just to show you what push-pull does, if you go underneath it, it'll actually show you a solid box underneath, but at the top, it's actually not going to print. So that's a problem right there. So if you do find a way to make spaces, and really all you have to do is you would have to fill these holes in, or fill these spaces in a little bit more outward to make that box, you can do that. We are not trying to do that, actually. We are basically just trying to fill everything in, just make it super basic. So what I want to do is I want to make these ridges real fast. Okay, so one thing with the push pull is that you can hit the control button and it's actually going to add that material right there. Okay, so now you see it's one solid object. You still have that layer right there, but that's going to be fixed very soon. Okay, we'll do opposite side as well. Okay, and we'll do it on all sides, so that way it fills in those areas. There's a number of ways you could also do the last little bit. You could either pull it up, or you can actually, what I'll actually do is I'll just pull it straight across. It looks cooler that way, I think. And you can actually see the lines a little bit better. You could do it either way, but now you have one complete solid object. In SketchUp, or when you're going from taking this file to your 3D object reader, these lines are not going to show up, so that's a good thing. So it's recognizing that this is one solid object, which is what we want. There's going to be no spaces. There's going to be no problems when you're actually printing this stuff out. When you're actually looking at the file. Okay. The last thing we want to do is we want to go over to this rectangle app, and we actually want to put the power and toughness right here. So there was an app. Let me show you what it looks like. So there is this font letter 3D text tool right here. You just click on that, and you basically enter your stuff right here. You can enter whatever you want. For me, I'm going to type in 3-3. So 3 toughness, 3 power, or 3 power, 3 toughness for Magic the Gathering. So, and my height is going to be, the text size is going to be 6 millimeters, and what's going to be coming out of the base is 1 millimeter. That's what you're looking at here. Okay, so now there you have it. I have my 3-3 power and toughness. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of line it up somewhere along the center and put it right there. So now we have a base to where you can add a creature on there. You can add whatever you want on there, and it's got a power and toughness of 3-3. Okay, I'm going to save this as I'm going to save this for right now. Saving it as test 1. Okay, and while that's saving, I'll show you what else can be done on here. There's you could have up to a certain amount of files depending on your space size. So I have a lot of other stuff in here. If you've seen my Thingiverse account, you can go to your SketchUp folders, and I've had other different projects, like all the bases that I worked on for like your storage carrying cases and whatnot, like gargantuan huge creatures for Dungeons and Dragons. There's towers, the universal tiles I've made. So I've made all this stuff on here on SketchUp, and it's worked, for the most part, it's worked fine right now. All right. So I've saved that file. I'm going to go ahead and export it as an STL. That is what most people will use to read their object files. You can see that it's being downloaded. I've already had a test 1, trying to practice another design to try to fill in some of the spaces, but it's downloaded. Now we have the 3-3 base object. So now we're going to go over to Desktop Hero 3D, and when you type it in, it's going to come up to the editor, and this is the first thing you'll see. Is you'll see this base halfling female character right here with 2 swords. We're going to go ahead and take the base, and you have to make a account with Desktop Hero 3D, which I've already done. So, but once you do that, you can go ahead and hit contribute. We're going to make it as an asset because it's just one piece. It's not like we're adding a character or whatnot. We're adding a base. So it says submit an asset using the new uploader. So we'll go ahead and do that. Then the first thing you'll want to do is from that downloads file, you open it up, and there is the file that you just created. More over to this side over here. Okay. I want to make it to about 20% of what that is. And you'll see why in a second, because all I want to do is just line this up. Okay, so right now the base looks good as far as size wise. Now we got to put it into position. If you want to go more to the right, it's going to be positive values for the x-axis. If you want to go more to the left, it's going to be in the negatives. So let's just try -6 right now. It looks like almost there, so we're going to say maybe about -7 along the x-axis. That looks okay. As far as depth goes, so if you want to go down, it's going to be negative sign, obviously, so I'm going to just say -5 just as a starting point. And it looks like it could be raised a little bit more up, so let's just say -4.7, just kind of get that in the way. And then moving it up, it's going to be in positive values. So let's just say -6, or 6, I should say. And it looks like the feet are a little bit covered. I want to put this more to the right. So let's just say negative 6.8. Or we should put it more to the left, I should say. Negative 7.2, maybe about 7.3. And that looks like it works there. We want to lower it a little bit more, so we'll go and say negative 4.9. So as you can see the feet right there, it looks good. And there you have it. As far as this goes, it's at 20% dimensions. Let's finish it off. What you want to attach this base to is the platform and platform. We're going to keep it rigid. We're not going to really mess with it. You can mess with the stuff a little bit later, and some of the other videos I'll show down the road. I'll show you how to actually position your different bases if your figure's off. Okay, so the asset description, we're just going to say 33 MTG token base. And then we'll just have the description, this a token base 33 for Magic the Gathering. All right. Categories, we'll put it in platforms, so that way you'll see it very quickly. You'll see that that's the right area that we want to go for. We don't want to put it as like a weapon. You don't want to have a giant square 3/3. That just looks obnoxious. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit submit. So it says thank you, your submission was received. We'll go back to the editor. It's probably gonna process for a little bit. It'll probably maybe take a few seconds, but let me show you while that's processing. Let me show you some of the other stuff that I've also tried out, because I've tried bases before, and I've actually uploaded, I think I've uploaded a 2/2 base token. So if you look at this, I mean 2/2 right there. I think the 1/1, I think it also works too. I could probably raise it a little bit more. I'll probably actually redo this. But as you can see at the top, when you upload this asset, it'll show you that 33 MTG token base is processing. But I think it doesn't really take that long because it is a very small file, especially when you're talking about SketchUp. So I'm going to go ahead and reload the page. That way you can see the platform in its finest, going from SketchUp to here. Platform, all right. So it looks like it's done. You click on it, and there you have it. All right. So you could also rotate this to however you want it a little bit later. To rotate it, you would just have to go to pose, and the base is actually going to be this particular level right there. But as far as the platform goes, what we took from SketchUp to Desktop Hero, there you have it. So we're going to go ahead and publish that. So now when you start making, if you want to start making your own creature tokens, you will have bases to where it'll have a power and toughness, just to kind of make the game a little bit more visual. If you like this video, be sure to share it out, comment on the video to see what kind of more videos you want me to do with this kind of stuff. We're going to be going more into Desktop Hero 3D as far as like a tutorial guide and how to like do stuff, because people have been trying to use this and they sometimes get frustrated because it is kind of buggy as far as a program, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually not that bad. If you could please share this video with other people who do D&D, people who do Magic, that would be awesome. If you want more Magic the Gathering content, just subscribe to my channel. We make stuff like lore videos. We make stuff like the history of each Magic set. We also did I say we, and it's actually just myself. And we did a history of Dominaria. We did the Thran unofficial audiobook. If you want to see more like this, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, comment, and these videos actually really don't take that long. So if you want to see more stuff like this, just let me know. You could also follow me on Twitter by going to Coach@theCardBazaar.cc. And if you also want to support me on Patreon, I have more files. I've actually did more. I have more 3D models that I have on my Google Drive. If you become a patron member at the $2 level, I believe. Okay. So, but that is all I have, everyone. Coach over here signing out, and I will see you all in the next video.